Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Banks, CRO for Grass Valley, and it's my honor to welcome you to our GV Forum event at NAB 23. I'm not used to this level of applause, but keep it going, that's fine. I can do that. During the presentation, we'll be providing you with insights into our vision, our mission, our latest technology and product announcements, as well as new ways we're engaging with the industry. You'll also hear from some of our clients, our alliance partners, our customer advisory council, as well as our partner community about the journey we're on together. This will be followed by cocktails and refreshments and the opportunity to meet with GV's leadership team. I'm excited to be here, and so without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Chairman and CEO, Luis Hernandez.
Thank you, Tim. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have some really exciting things to talk about. Some of you may remember in 2017, I wrote a book called Storyteller's Dilemma. And in that book, it stirred a lot of debate about the degree of impact that digitization would have on our industry, the operations, and the economics. Today, there's not much debate. Almost every major media company in the world is going through some type of digital transformation and transformation in general. Grass Valley believes that anyone has to step forward to lead during this transition. Lead by investing for the future. Lead by recapturing the imagination about how technology can help solve the industry's most intense problems. Lead by collaborating with industry leaders, and lead by investing for the long term. Now, no one wakes up in the morning and says, hey, let's go change everything that I know and everything that I've ever done. So what is it that is causing these changes? Why are so many large media organizations going through such sweeping changes? Well, on this chart here, most of you know that in the last 10 years, there's almost a 400% increase in content available to each person. There's even larger increase in the ways in which you consume, channels, devices, formats, emerging every day. The best news is there's a 50% increase in consumption per capita. That's pretty dramatic. That's time-bound, so that's pretty significant. But it doesn't match the 400% increase in choices that you have. And that begins our problem. Yield per asset, revenue, profit per asset created in our industry. We still have to create the best content in the world. We have to make it available to more people through more channels. And we have to do that with roughly the same budget. Now, most of you might say, roughly the same budget. Well, remember, if your assignment is create 400% more content, make it available through 1,000% more ways on the same budget, then you have to do a lot more for a lot less. And that yet results in two big problems, two big goals that most of our clients talk about. How do we reduce cost, lower the cost of production per asset created, or find new revenue streams? And therein lies the beginning of the challenge. Look no further than the realities that some of the best brands face. This is from recent financial results, and you can see the linear business is either declining or growing slowly, but very profitable. The digital business growing at a much faster rate, but losing money. And that metal bending sound you hear is the sound of these large media organizations trying to transform itself into the future. And while this is happening, both of these companies have activist investors who are demanding they split these two companies up, the linear and the digital, because they're losing too much on the digital. Imagine this as a leader trying to change your whole company, and then because people don't understand what you're doing, want you to break the whole thing up, thereby undermining your whole attempt to transition. This is our reality for our clients. Our clients, however, are some of the best and biggest brands in the world. They have no intention of losing, so they're making changes. Some of these changes are sweeping that you've read about, from selling major assets to shutting down major production, to selling off or shutting down content. It's pretty dramatic because they want to compete and win. What hasn't changed, however, is the importance of our industry to society. The role our industry plays being the center of the consciousness, reflecting our hopes and dreams, our aspirations, and that's one of the reasons why live events are so powerful. They're best served together as a shared experience while they're happening. But our business model is changing, and it must be addressed. And when you look for help, the 2,000 or so vendors will be at this show. All have a great story about mostly disconnected proprietary tools that help one step in the chain. And thankfully, some are realizing that's just not good enough today. Not anymore. Because as the product, the asset becomes more digital, consumption, it compresses the workflow, disrupts the operations, and changes our economics. And those are our realities. That's what we're trying to face. To me, today, it's less about selecting the technology in your partner and more the partner that you can trust for the long term. The partner who's committed to invest, who has the size and scale to lead through multiple challenges, who can invest for the long term. That's exactly what we've tried to do here at Grass Valley. This is why we've created the Grass Valley Media Universe. Imagine a world where a single operating system connects all the activities within an organization. Imagine that all these services can be shared from anywhere in the world, first for your organization, and then connecting to other organizations within the ecosystem of media. Imagine a world where our hardware products and any hardware products could connect to the same operating system for media. And what if the almost 100 or so native applications that we have created, along with any application available through a media company, a system integrator, or another company, can likewise be tied into this ecosystem, sharing the same operating system. And all those alliance partners that'll be at our booth, along with the many who've signed up to the Grass Valley Alliance, all sharing common tools that we've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in, so that it's simpler for our clients to lower costs and reduce their production, make it more efficient. And what if all those apps and all the content and services could be available simply in an integrated way? No different than, let's say, Apple, where you have hardware devices, you have apps from them and from third parties, all integrated. And what if you could deploy this model in a cloud-native way, public cloud, hybrid, or on-prem? This is Grass Valley Media Universe, designed to make it simpler and easier to train and reduce your cost overall. We believe this is the future of our industry. Now, in order to change, just like our clients, we've had to transform ourselves. We've had to simplify and integrate our different product lines around a central ecosystem so that we can make the most of this suite that we're talking about. We've had to hire the right people for the next phase. That's not always easy, just like all the changes you're reading about in the industry. We've had to change too. We've had to come up with deeper, more intimate ways to work with our clients. We feel during this phase you have to work more closely, listen more, create solutions that solve the bigger issues. And this even includes trade shows. For Grass Valley, you're going to see a big change, not only in the broad array of investments we're making, but in our inclusiveness of third parties. And this is just a step on regional shows we're doing all around the world. Like our clients, we have to transform to lead. And that includes the almost 400 new technical software, mostly developers, we've been hiring the last 24 months in our centers of excellence. Not everybody understands what we're doing, but we feel these are necessary steps to make sure we're ready for the next phase. Luckily, it's working. Some of the largest media companies in the world have adopted our strategy, our approach. Not because a particular technology is the right one, because the strategy is a shared vision. And of course, we have one of the most broadest product suites in the industry, number 1 or 2 in every category that we compete in. Some of you have read about Sky expanding AMP for live production coverage for Formula 1, for Indy, for golf. You may have seen Canal Plus's Studio of the Future. I just visited it in Paris. Amazing. You'll hear probably about this at this show. Significantly reduced footprint, significant increase in content produced, dramatically lower cost. Very exciting. You may have read about Discovery Eurosport, extensive use of AMP through the Tokyo Olympic Games. And more recently, you may have just read about CBS Sports embracing the concept of AMP, its robustness, its scalability, the fact that we're already deployed in many major media companies around the world. This is Grass Valley. Now let me welcome our CTO and Chief Product Officer, Marek, who's going to share more details about our solution set and some of the exciting new innovations. Marek?
Thank you, Louis, and good evening, everyone. I'm Marek Kielczewski. I'm the CTO for Grass Valley, and I'm really excited to share some of the innovation that we've been recently working on, especially in software-defined media production. I'm also thrilled to share how some of our partners have adopted our software products and are using them in demanding real-world applications. I'll also be sharing some exciting new product announcements later on. But first, let me take a step back and give you an overview of the GV Media Universe. The GV Media Universe is a collaborative ecosystem of purpose-built hardware and software solutions that are designed for broadcast and media production. It's a collaborative system because anyone can contribute apps or functionality and integrations. The Media Universe is built on AMP, which is a software-based platform that provides all the features necessary to build the most demanding media productions. Everything begins with the platform itself. Louis mentioned AMP, so let me tell you a bit about AMP. AMP is a series of apps, tools, and services that together combine to create an operating system for media. It offers all of the functionality of traditional broadcast equipment and much more. It also integrates with some of our traditional hardware products, such as switchers that are core of our product portfolio. It's an edge computing platform, which means that you can spread the processing load throughout the network, whether it's on-prem, in the cloud, or a combination of the two. It has a built-in app store where you can find native apps, as well as apps contributed by our partners that induce creativity and increase the efficiency of media production. It's secure, flexible, and scalable, and provides a solid foundation for any innovation roadmap. I'm not going to go through everything that AMP has to offer, because it spans tens of apps and hundreds of workflows, but I will highlight a few key areas. Capture supports a wide range of formats and standards that can be captured on-prem or in the cloud. This includes the AMP streaming protocol, which offers better quality and some more features than some of the other standards. Monitoring and processing includes multi-viewing and video correction using best-in-class algorithms that we've adopted from traditional GV hardware. Live production includes built-in replay, intercom, integration with hardware switcher panels, audio mixing and correction, graphics overlays, and production control. Editing includes our Framelight X media asset management solution, which provides better collaboration between local teams and remote teams and facilitates REMI production. And finally, distribution, which includes playout channels and master control. All of these apps and the infrastructure itself can be deployed any way you need it to be. We run on AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Tata Cloud, and we also run on-prem. The GV Media Universe is enabling rapid technology innovation. It's an open ecosystem. We have a broad range of alliance partners that have already joined, and we see a massive uptake in our SDK usage. More and more alliance partners are joining and working with us to release functionalities through the AMP App Store. Whether it's Stratus Asset Management, Integrated Playout, Morpheus, ICE, ITX, or any of the GV products that we offer, we've built in tools into AMP to make it easier to migrate workflows over into AMP. We see new features added on a regular basis to the App Store. We have close to 100 apps right now, and that number is constantly growing. We also provide hosted services for the GV Media universe, where we maintain the infrastructure and ensure that services scale as the production needs change. The GV hosted processing nodes allow leveraging all of the benefits of AMP without the operational complexity of maintaining your own cloud infrastructure, spinning up instances. We basically take care of the hosting so that you can focus on producing amazing content. We also provide edge computing nodes, which can be deployed on-prem. And this is especially relevant for the most demanding media productions where cloud and network availability are a concern. Now, to see how AMP can be used to accelerate cloud adoption, and especially in live broadcast and live sports broadcast, please welcome Corey Smith, Senior Director, Advanced Production Technologies from CBS Sports.
Thanks for having me. So I've been a big fan of AMP for a number of years now. I was one of the original launch partners when I was at Activision Blizzard in 2018, 2019, when we were getting ready to roll this out in our kind of home and away model for esports. We quite didn't get to where we needed to be. Pandemic set in, things kind of disrupted. So here I am, years later now, a year in at CBS Sports, and we already had a lot of GV AMP running in our environment because a lot of what we do from a cloud master control standpoint is repackage a lot of our world feeds for our soccer properties and restream those things to Paramount Plus, Pluto TV, etc. So what we were able to actually do when we got the call, so to speak, if you will, to build a 24/7, 365 a year, 365 day a year global soccer network. So Galazer Network was launched Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The components of that, from just a contribution standpoint, is GV Edge in our Stanford facilities and even our Truck World, Broadcast Center, et cetera, within New York. We get our desk shows produced in Stanford. They send us a feed of that desk show to our master control switcher in cloud. The master control switcher in cloud produces all the live content switching to our playout network. As it comes through that master control switcher, it runs through a series of other devices for failover, disaster recovery, all built in AMP as well. And I can talk more about this after we're done here. However, we're also recording all of the live content in our asset management system that it gives our operators, our master control operators, the ability to instantaneously subclip content as it's being written live, so they can actually take those assets and move them into our playout network. Playout is also running on AMP. So not only is it master control switching, it's keying in graphics, bringing in NDI sources for our lower third tickers, but it's also allowing us the ability to hone in on these assets, curate them on the fly, and bring them directly into playout. And that playout channel then gets distributed back out to Paramount Plus, Pluto TV, et cetera. So we're fully embracing end-to-end cloud-based production from a master control standpoint all the way through the end of the supply chain.
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks.
So you've heard how AMP can be used to accelerate cloud adoption, especially for live sports. Pretty amazing stuff. Thanks, Corey. Next, we'll hear from a partner that's leveraging AMP to build a complete media tech stack that enables its customers to quickly spin up playout channels. And so now please welcome Jeremy Dujardin, CTO, Global Media Entertainment, Tata Communications.
Thank you, Marek. Good evening, everyone. Just a quick introduction for those that don't know. Tata Communications is one of the largest international carriers in the world, and we operate across many verticals. Media and entertainment is one of the dominant ones. We're a leading service provider for video transmission and media cloud services, including production and playout. Now, we provide services to some of the largest broadcasters and content owners in the world. And I just want to give you one example on how Grass Valley and AMP has been a very, very important integral partner for us. We were approached last summer by Verticast, a media company focused on the Caribbean market. They had just procured the rights for some of the top sports in the world, the English Premier League, NFL, UEFA Championship. And they had a single major challenge where they needed to launch in time for the start of the Premier League in just 3 weeks for the start of the season, and they had no infrastructure whatsoever. So there was only one possible choice to get this accomplished, and that was with the GVAMP platform. We had already been working with Grass Valley to get AMP working on our media cloud, and it was performing so well that we had the confidence to use it for this extremely aggressive deployment. Now, in record time, we were able to spin up 5 linear sports channels that were all created, scheduled, branded, and encoded by the AMP system. The live events were brought into AMP using our Video Connect platform, which is our global contribution network, and then the distribution was brought out of AMP and uplinked on satellite for all the cable affiliates in the region. We even also provisioned on demand up to 10 OTT sports channels. We now have many deployments on AMP, and that deployment continues to grow. And the experience that we had with Verticast improved the quality, capability, reliability of the platform. And if you stop by our booth, we have a live implementation of AMP at the West Hall, where the AMP system is running across many of our data centers throughout Asia, Europe, and the US. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's great to see how our partners are building their business on AMP. Now I'm truly excited to welcome Richard Bailey, CEO from Techex, member of the GV Alliance program. And Richard's working with the team on how using the SDK to integrate the devices. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you, Marek. Good evening, everyone. The aim of my quick talk this evening is to give you an understanding of the brand new announced Grass Valley AMP SDK and what we at Techex have done with it over the last few weeks since we got our hands on it. We'll quickly run through what is the SDK, who we are, what we've done with it, and what value it can give to you. The new SDK allows the native bidirectional handoff of AMP's low latency compressed essence flows. It allows third-party developers like ourselves to take advantage of AMP's session, natting, and protection protocols. So who are we? Techex are laser-focused on partnering and serving the most ambitious and highest-scale cloud media platforms. We bridge the gap between the rigors of traditional broadcast and the agility of cloud-native infrastructure. We develop software that provides cloud infrastructure with the reliability and observability that the most critical and largest-scale platforms demand. Our software provides protected, monitored, live transport into, out of, and between clouds, organizations, and functions. We've worked with AMP for the last couple of years at a number of our principal customers, protecting the ingress and egress of their live content. So what have we done so far with the SDK in just a few weeks? With the new SDK, we're acting as a bridge between the native audio and video essences used by AMP and broadcast-compliant transport streams. We've done 3 key pieces of work to integrate the new SDK so far. For ingress into AMP, our demux takes care of breaking apart transport stream mezzanines into elementary streams. For egress from AMP, our high-performance mux is implemented to assemble highly compliant transport streams from these essences. Finally, we're bidirectionally transcoding between AMP's preferred Opus audio codec and AAC. So what value can this bring to AMP customers? Beyond what we're already delivering, in terms of existing highly robust and observable transport, this integration brings 2 key benefits to their customers. Firstly, our multiplexer produces DVB spec transport streams with characteristics usually only associated with hardware multiplexers. This assures downstream interop with even the most picky legacy infrastructure. Secondly, within our platform, we're able to seamlessly fail over between diverse AMP regions, allowing for change control and CI/CD pushes to take place without service interruption. All of this is available to see on the GV booth over the next few days, and I hope to meet with as many of you as possible and answer any questions you may have. Many thanks.
Thank you, Richard. It's really exciting to see how the SDK is used to add new devices to the platform very quickly, efficiently. The whole process is very simple and straightforward. So thanks for that, Richard. Efficiently managing operations, orchestration, and automation are vital to broadcast production. Skyline Communications are leveraging the media universe to better serve their customers. Please join me in welcoming Thomas Gunkel from Skyline Communications.
Thanks, Mark. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here tonight with the Grass Valley team. Let me say a few words about Skyline Communications first. We are a software company headquartered in Belgium, and all we do is focusing on one single platform, which is called Data Miner, which is in essence a network management orchestration platform for the ICT industry, media, and broadband. About 1 year ago, we started joining forces together with the Grass Valley team to work on a solution that allows customers to manage as we say, complete life cycle of a cloud-based production end-to-end. And what does that mean? This usually starts with scheduling, gathering administrative data for your production. For that, you need to provide easy-to-use, simple web forms, user interfaces to all the mandatory, the optional data. And that allows you then, based on those data, for example, start, stop time, the type, the needs of the production, to reserve capacity and resources. And those are the GVM apps mostly. But also not only those, that includes third-party devices, on-prem, off-prem, hybrid. But also think of people, rooms you need to reserve. And what we get there, we guarantee resource availability at the time when you need them. And there is no risk anymore that you have resources that get overbooked or that you run out of those resources. And right before a production starts, the infrastructure gets automatically deployed. We include spinning up cloud instances if you run it in the cloud, configuring the media applications on top. And those are the GVM apps again, and as well as other third-party resources. Once more, also the on-prem equipment you still need. And once the infrastructure is up and running, we provide access to the operational user interfaces for each operator to have the right UI available at the right time. Once everything is live, monitoring is certainly an essential part as well we look into during the production. With that, you can easily trigger, for example, a switch to a failover instance in case there is an issue with one of your infrastructure or a media application. And don't forget about turning things off again when the production is over and the event is done. And also what we know, when the utilization of all resources gets tracked with Data Miner for each production, customers, they can add rate cards, they will get a detailed billing report that can be handed over to any of the third-party billing systems. And that's in essence what we do, is really automating management of the cloud productions as much as possible, but also giving guidance to users for those workflows that you're not fully automating. For example, that could be some approval workflows which are mandatory before we start reserving and automating those resources. In essence, it's really about reducing complexity and making things more simpler. And to make that happen, it all starts with a good foundation, and that's for us open and well-designed APIs to integrate with, to have full control on GVM. And that's what we really got from day one onwards from the Grass Valley team. Once more, thanks very much to the whole team. We're really proud to be part of this journey, and if you're interested to see a demo, pass by at the Grass Valley booth or see us at the Skyline Communications booth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Thomas. You've now seen how the GV Media Universe and AMP are being used across the industry to run the most demanding broadcast media productions, build comprehensive solutions, and are at the forefront of media innovation. Over the years, we've invested heavily in new product innovation and pushed the boundaries of what's possible, especially in software-defined media production. With our recent increased investment in AMP, the GV Media Universe ecosystem is stronger and more feature-rich than ever before. There are many new product announcements that we'll be unveiling at the show. I'd now like to highlight 3 of them. We're announcing the LDX C135 compact camera with a more ergonomic chassis and improved weight distribution. This is the first SMPTE 2110 camera with native IP. It features seamless integration with any IP broadcast workflow. The camera offers the same functionality as the award-winning full-size LDX 135 with top-quality ergonomics, native UHD HDR, global shutter. And what's unique for the compact is that it has 3 workflows including JPEG access, and the camera can be used both in baseband and full native IP end-to-end. We're also announcing AMP Local, which is an on-prem enterprise-grade variant of the AMP platform, which takes resilience and scaling to a new level. It's suitable for the most demanding productions, whether they be in venue or in mobile units. Same functionality as the cloud variant, same flexibility and broad list of features with no compromises. Now, AMP doesn't always have to be connected to the cloud. AMP can operate offline and during extended network failures. AMP Local can be deployed using the same AMP Edge devices that are used for edge processing. It's simple to deploy and easy to manage. Also, to complement AMP Local, we're announcing AMP Grid. This is a very exciting technology innovation. It's essentially scalable processing with tremendous flexibility at a lower cost. It allows you to take control of your infrastructure costs and scale as your needs grow. With Grid, you can add IOs as more AMP Edge devices are added to the system. They work in unison to create a single pool of compute. And we leverage standards-compliant technologies such as RDMA over Ethernet to ensure that bandwidth limitations are not a concern, regardless of the amount of inputs and outputs that are needed. Grid also increases the tolerance and resilience of the entire on-prem system. Very exciting innovation. We're going to be showing these products at our booth. But to recap, GV Media Universe is a collaborative ecosystem for broadcast media production. It's built on AMP, which is a centerpiece of our software-centric product strategy. AMP is the result of many years of innovation and millions of hours of on-air live productions throughout the world, whether it be the Olympics, the Super Bowl, the FIFA World Cup, or thousands of other live events. AMP is the most advanced media operating system on the market today, with more functionality, more features, and better efficiency than any other platform. Whether it be sports, news, or any other media production, AMP brings the flexibility and features that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We also have many other announcements that we'll be making during the show. We're announcing brand new Cayenne panels for the K-frame switchers with improved tactile interface and integrated with AMP. Ignite X, a next generation integrated APC solution with an improved user interface and much, much more. We encourage you to visit our booth, Central Hall C2408, to learn more. And with that, thank you, and back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Marek. So the world we've been describing is changing, and it's changing fast. We at Grass Valley feel a strong sense of opportunity and also responsibility to lead the industry through this next phase of transformation. But we recognize that we cannot do this alone, and we see strength in collaboration with our lead clients, advisors, alliances, and partners. Truly better together. One example of an important recent initiative has been the formation of GVX. The GVX Customer Council is a powerhouse of thought leadership made up of senior executives from some of the largest and most influential media and entertainment groups. It was established to ensure that market trends, insights, and requirements are incorporated into the very DNA of Grass Valley in a systematic and purposeful way. We engage with our community to identify the key challenges we face collectively and collaborate to define and deliver the best solutions. GV uses inputs from the group to inform, validate, and prioritize our strategic vision, our technology strategy, and our product development direction. Or in other words, put simply, we partner with market leaders, our clients, to develop what our industry needs. GVX is an open forum where we listen more than we talk, and one of the suggestions from the board has been to expand the GVX membership, broadening its representation by segment and by geography. For the next meeting being held here at NAB tomorrow, the GVX Leadership Board will have doubled in size as represented by the slide shown. Okay, and at this point, I'd like to invite Del Parks onto the stage to say a few words as chairman of the GVX Leadership Council. Thank you, Del.
Good evening, everyone. Boy, I got to tell you, Grass Valley, when I first got in this business 52 years ago, is one of the most trusted brands, and for us, they've been the most valuable partner over all those years, and they're leaders in our industry. I think Grass Valley has just explained that to everyone. You lead from the front, you don't push from the back, and I take my hat off to Grass Valley for doing that. So when Lewis purchased Grass Valley, I guess 3 years ago, he called me and he said, hey, we're going to do a customer council. And since Lewis and I go back to pre-Grass Valley days, I listened to Lewis, and he said, hey, we're going to do this customer council. Why don't you be the chairman of it? Well, I don't know if you know this, but just what I needed was another job, right? So, of course, I can't say no to Lewis. And so I was actually really excited to do this because in my company, Sinclair, we are also going through a huge transformation. In the broadcast business, we have to do things differently. And so one of the things that we needed to do after a few years, what it was about 13 people we started with, 13, 14 of those industry leaders, we quickly realized that because Grass Valley is a global business, that we needed to expand. And because we were essentially, for me, going into uncharted territory, we needed more expertise, more people who understood cloud, more people who were pushing the envelope to help advise Grass Valley. And so we added about 13, 14 more people. Doubled in size. Yeah, we doubled in size. And so we're really excited. Tomorrow we're going to have our first meeting that's combined. And you'll see some of the most prominent people in our industry, not just prominent, but people who are, again, thought leaders. And so one of the things that's important to me is that as we go through this media transformation, we have to keep in mind that we're all running and work for a business. And the business requires us to be more efficient, as Lewis said, and we have to do more with less. However, we also need to do it with a lot of agility and flexibility, because I think everybody here will agree with me, right? How fast does technology change? It changes at the speed of agile development. And what's that, a sprint maybe every 2 or 3 weeks? So really, it's very exciting to be here, and I'm really thrilled that Grass Valley and Lewis asked me to help chair this and get this thing started. And I got to tell you, if you listen to all the customers and the vendors and the partnerships, you can kind of paint yourself a picture of where Grass Valley is going to go in the future. And we're really kind of just at the beginning of the journey. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tim. And I'll talk to you all later.
Nice one. Thank you, Del. Thank you very much, Del. Much appreciated. Okay, at GV, we also recognize the need to work more intimately with our clients and to enhance our client engagement model to optimize their customer experience journey. I'll hand over now to Jim Kirkland to provide a brief insight into some of the additional changes we're making. Jim.
Thanks, Tim. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Kirkland, Senior Vice President, Delivery and Support for Grass Valley, and I'm here to share with you an exciting new customer service model we're announcing here at NAB. So I'm really happy to present GV1. Now, first and foremost, GV1 is a new customer service model, as I said. It's there to better connect us with our customers, but it means much more to us here at Grass Valley. It means a new lens for us to view our business and a new focus on enterprise and strategic accounts. It allows us to focus on simplifying our product lines, focus on simplifying our operations, and improving our quality of service levels. So how are we going to do this? Well, before GV1, enterprise accounts would contact the Customer Excellence Center to get support like anybody else would. But with GV1, these accounts can now access an assigned cross-functional squad to get instant access to the experts. Now, this squad, they know your operation intimately. They know you intimately to be able to work faster on any issues. And the GV1 squad, as you can see there from the diagram, is made up from a different group of people as far as commercial lead, solutions design, project, support, and the R&D sponsor. And it's headed up with a customer success manager. And we believe then this squad can help you through every part of the customer journey, from pre-sales design, project, and in-life support. Now, more than that, we're actually going to introduce live chat channels so that the enterprise accounts can have faster response times and resolution times by talking to this squad instantly. So basically, if you need support from Grass Valley at any part of our business, you can go to the customer success manager or any member of this squad to get help. And this is how we're supporting a more customer-centric approach this year at Grass Valley. Now, in addition to GV1, we recognize at Grass Valley that our partners are a huge part of our success. So here to talk more about the fantastic work our partners are doing, I'll bring Tim Banks back on stage. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Jim. So, some common themes throughout today's session have been leadership through openness, collaboration, and partnership. And the Better Together tagline extends beyond our client relationships, beyond our alliances, to also incorporate the strategic partnerships with our key systems integrator and reseller channel partners. At GV, we pride ourselves on being partner-centric in how we look to address the industry's challenges, capitalize on the opportunities, and develop win-win models to grow our respective businesses together. Our partner network stretches far and wide, with just some of the company logos represented in the collage behind me. And it's customary each NAB to recognize and acknowledge some of the highest performing partners who are key to Grass Valley's continuing success. So, in time-honored fashion, I'd like to announce the following partner award winners for NAB 23. And first up is the Sales Performance Award for the Americas, which goes to Diversified. Congratulations, Diversified. So, Diversified has consistently delivered the strongest results for Grass Valley in America over recent years and continues to work closely with GV across a number of high-profile, large-scale projects in the US, including breakthrough engagements with our latest technology offerings. And second up is the International Sales Performance Award, which goes to Broadcast Solutions. Following the signing of an enterprise agreement in 2021, we've seen consistent revenue growth with Broadcast Solutions across EMEA, including major live production project wins with NEP, DMC Sports, and many others, as well as securing the latest AMP playout breakthrough win with a major public broadcaster in the Nordics. So in the interest of time, we'll present the awards and arrange the photo opportunities after today's presentation. But to say a few words on behalf of GV's partner community, I'd like to invite Steve Stubelt from Diversified onto the stage.
Thank you, Tim. If you're part of the GV family, I may be a familiar face because it wasn't so long ago that I was giving this message about GV partnership, about how important the partners are to the GV business. And now being a Diversified, it is part of the DNA of Grass Valley to actually work with partners on a global basis. And it's been part of the success of what is really this foundational vendor in our industry. So well over 60 years of incredible service to this industry, bringing technology. What you're hearing today about the innovation that we see with AMP and have continued to see for the last couple of years just continues to every month just progress more and more. Now, as a systems integrator, we're living this change as well. But we are also continuing to sell and integrate many of the great Grass Valley products, like cameras, like switchers, like traditional products that are servicing our customers as we invest in cloud business and becoming cloud integrators as we go forward. So I really appreciate all the support that we've gotten from Grass Valley. I appreciate the technologies they continue to produce that allow us to serve customers and solve problems and provide solutions. But I really express that partnership aspect of the way that we work with them. They work closely with us, they're transparent, and we really feel like we are part of a close-knit operation. So we wouldn't, the theme before of we do better till we are better together is really truly just something that the company has had since its inception. So I want to thank Grass Valley for the honor of continuing to be part of their family for Diversified and for really all of the partners that are across the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Very much appreciated. Okay, so before I hand back to Lewis for the wrap-up, I'd just like to extend again our thanks for your joining us this evening and to invite you to stay on for cocktails, refreshments, and discussions. Okay, Lewis, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everybody, for helping us tonight. Well, we've gone over quite a bit. There's still, the bars are going to be open and some snacks for you, but you've heard a lot about our changing industry that we're all a part of. You've heard about Grass Valley Media Universe. You've heard about the changes that we're undertaking to transform, to lead this transition that the industry is going into. You've heard about the incredible announcements, huge investments we're making across the entire suite. You should really come out to the booth and see. Too many to mention tonight. And really a new way of thinking about integrating, collaborating as industry leaders. This is Grass Valley. Now, a lot of people have asked me, you may have seen on the interviews, which I find kind of interesting, well, why are you doing this? Like, why would you undertake a major transformation of another company in our industry? Well, Black Dragon, first of all, is a firm, the group who owns Grass Valley. We're all operators ourselves. If you talk to any of us, all of us have either started companies or run major technology companies. We know the sacrifice, the hard work, the loneliness, the joy that comes along with building something you believe in, especially in an industry that's meant so much. I owe a lot to this incredible industry. But you know, we're all part of the same journey, aren't we? For many of us, this has been most of our careers. Some of our deepest friendships, providing for our families has come to this industry. It's important to us. It's an industry that has created lifelong friendships for me, some of you in this room. But the reason I mention that, we're all on this journey together, aren't we? All of us are joining the same cause. It's a cause that Grass Valley is taking seriously, owned by entrepreneurs who've built things we believe in, committed to the long term. And I think with your help, we can lead together. This is Grass Valley. Thank you.